What's up, you guys? Before we get to today's episode with Thomas Dale, I want to give a huge shout out to our friends over at Factor. This holiday season, you may be needing to make some pretty quick, delicious, and nutritious meals, and Factor is here for you, you guys. Head to factormeals.com/glitter50 and use code glitter50 to get 50% off. You guys, this is a great deal. 50%, come on now. That's code glitter50 at factormeals.com/glitter50 for 50% off. You guys, let's eat, drink, and get deals this holiday season. What's up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of Glitter and Garbage. I'm Justine Marino. I am so excited for today's guest. I love this person so much. I've known you for many years. It feels so serendipitous. We ran into each other at Whole Foods, and I was just like, I haven't seen you in years, but I want you on my podcast. It is hilarious comedian, incredible clairvoyant, Thomas Dale.
Oh, I love it. Thank you for being here. Let's acknowledge the bangs.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
I thank you so much. You guys, I literally just got bangs like hours ago.
So perfect for us. So perfect.
Thank you. I really appreciate that because you guys, Thomas is not a bullshitter. I was telling you before, it really means a lot coming from you. You know, some people you're like, your approval means more than others because I know that you wouldn't just give it out lightly.
Not at all.
Yeah, no, not at all. You can't. Yeah.
I've actually have to learn to like shut my mouth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Me too. So I get it. But it's so nice to see you. It's so nice to have you here. Like I said, we ran into each other at Whole Foods. I was like, we've got to get you on. I met you during stand-up, right? You'd been doing stand-up for many years. And then right around the pandemic, a little before then, you started kind of getting into this clairvoyant path. So I wanted to have you on, chat with you about that. Obviously, we'll talk some pop culture stuff, but I think it's so fascinating because comedian to clairvoyant is not a path that everyone takes.
No.
So I want to hear a little bit about the journey.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the journey has been so intense because I always felt connected to people's energy.
Yeah.
I always felt like I could see things that other people couldn't see.
Yeah.
And I always felt like before comedy even, I'd be hanging out with my friends doing birth charts, we'd be hanging out smoking weed, and I'd be doing birth charts for everybody, that was like what I did. I just loved, and I would always have these visions of the future.
Right.
And I would always tell my friends, and they were like, you're crazy. And I'm like, no, I just see these things happening.
Right.
So I remember getting into comedy and I was like, that's how people will start to know me.
Right.
And then, I'll be able to get my message out or I'll be able to help others. I love making people laugh. That was always a big deal for me.
Right.
And I just like being funny.
Yeah.
So it felt kind of perfect.
Sure.
Then I got into comedy. That whole thing once you're in comedy, it takes a life of its own.
Yes, it does.
So I forgot really about the message, to be honest with you. And I just got wrapped up in comedy.
Now, when did you start stand-up?
I started, I believe it was 2008.
Oh, that's when I started.
Yeah, exactly. It's 2008 in New York.
In New York, okay.
And that's when I started stand-up. And then I just it kind of took off, and I just loved it so much. And I loved my peers and I love everyone in comedy. And so it just I forgot, not that I forgot the message, but I forgot that's why I started it.
Sure.
I got wrapped up and then I need the TV show and I want this, and just like we all do, right?
Of course.
And then a couple of years before pandemic, I'd say a year and a half before pandemic, I just started to not feel fulfilled anymore.
Okay.
And I started to feel like a spirit was calling me back to my message.
Okay.
And that is to help people and to help others heal and to help them see things they can't see.
Yeah.
A lot of times I could, like my dog's name, by the way, my dog is here.
Yes.
If you hear him moaning in the background, his name is Truth.
So cute.
Yeah, such a little baby.
He's the cutest.
He is such a sweetheart and we're so connected. He literally is my soulmate. I truly feel like he was brought to me during this time period and in this mission because it's been such a transition and such a tough transition really. Because you go from comedy and the lights and the big groups and now it's just me one-on-one with people, such a different energy, which I love, but it's such an adjustment, okay?
Sure.
And so a year and a half before pandemic, I just started to do it more. I offered it to people I would meet and they would come to my apartment and I would do readings. And it started with me just connecting to your soul.
Yeah.
I can see your energy. I see who you are. Just like when we were talking before. Go ahead.
Just now, you guys, I have to say, we sit down and I was like, oh, what sign are you? And he's like, I'm a Taurus. What about you? And I said Aries. And he goes, I feel like you have Scorpio in your chart. And I was like, I'm a Scorpio moon.
Yes.
Which it's insane.
Yeah, because the moon is who you are inside.
Exactly.
That's what the moon is. So I saw saw that. I often see like and it's funny because 95% of the time I could feel someone's sign, whether it's sun or moon, but a lot of times I feel their moon when I'm seeing their soul.
Because it's the inside, it's their inner world.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I just keep getting Scorpio for you. I keep getting Scorpio for you. It's got to be somewhere.
Crazy.
And it was your moon, which is your soul.
Yes.
You know?
Oh, so that like gave me chills.
Yeah. So like, so I just started doing that with people with readings, and like, we would take, the person I'm reading would take notes.
Okay.
And like, I would just connect, and I would just get messages from spirit about things that they can do that'll help them get on the path they're supposed to be on.
Sure.
Or things that are happening in their life that can get a message from spirit that can help them sort that out. Okay? Because I don't like to be boxed in as a psychic or medium, or that's why I'm a clairvoyant.
Yeah.
I'm a knower or a seer.
Sure.
I just feel things. My moon is in Pisces.
Okay.
And my rising's Aquarius.
Okay.
So it's like all that stuff. And I'm trying to figure it all out and learn about it. And I want to use these abilities. Like I want to use these powers to help lead people to their best intention and their highest good. Like that's all I've ever wanted. I just love making people happy.
Yeah.
That's why I loved comedy so much, because you're literally making people happy. But ego and spirit, those are two different things.
It is.
And I feel like a lot of the first half of my life, I was just trying to get out of ego, and I wanted to live in spirit, and I didn't know how to do that. And comedy really is all ego.
It is.
You're literally on a stage saying, listen to me, me, me. After a while, I just didn't want to say, listen to me. I wanted to say, listen to you. What do you have inside you?
Right.
But I didn't know how to make that transition. So with sessions, I finally get to just look at the person and see their soul. So in sessions, then spirit, like dead people started coming to me.
Really?
I never knew I can do that.
Wow.
So there are mediums who will see the person or see the dead people.
Right.
This was a new thing for me.
Right.
I didn't say this is what I was.
Right.
I knew I could see the soul, the energies. I get psychic visions, intuitions. So I would be in a reading with someone and I'd be like, wait a second. Is your dad passed? Or like, did your dad, they'll show this one girl, the first time it really ever happened, I was like, he's showing me a purple heart. I don't know what that means or why I'm seeing a purple heart. And she said, my dad was a purple heart. And I don't know if it's like the army or whatever that is. I don't know that information.
Wow.
I just saw the purple heart.
Wow.
So I was like, what is that? So like, I would get the confirmation from the people.
Sure.
I'd be like, what does that mean? Because I'm not trying to pretend like I know. I'm like, I'm just getting this download. What is that?
Wow.
So I had a few people that would come to me and we would do that in person. Then pandemic happened.
Sure.
And I decided to offer it virtually, and it just took a mind of its own, or whatever that's called. Like, what is it? A life of its own. Yes, exactly. A life of its own. Yes. And then it started getting more into the medium stuff. But now I'm really getting more. I want to get back to that connecting to your soul thing.
Yeah.
There was one time with this girl tells this story where I said to her, they keep showing me a shelter with a dog and saying you need to get this dog, and then they described kind of the area and and long story short, she wound up getting this dog at this shelter in the area that was described, and she said it changed her whole life, and it put her on the path she needed to be on.
Wow.
Or I'm saying something about, they keep saying, I'm like, did you ever play tennis when you were younger? There was something about tennis. And she was like, oh my God, yes, I used to always play tennis. And I was like, they're saying you need to get back to that.
Wow.
So that, got her back into, maybe it was like meeting someone. I don't know what it was,
Right.
It's like a domino effect.
Yes.
And then, so with the medium stuff, when spirit comes to me or the person they're looking for comes to me, I love doing that because it connects people, but it is also very heavy and draining.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So I'm just trying to figure out, because I can also feel things around people, like when I use my hands or I can go into rooms, I can go into someone's house and feel where the energy is negative or where there's good energy, where you'll be the happiest in the house, where you can get the most work done, that kind of stuff. I could feel those kind of things.
Wow.
Or sensitive areas in someone's body. I don't really like to do medical stuff because I'm not a doctor, but I can help them and say, that's a sensitive area.
Sure.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to figure it all out. What's my thing exactly?
Right.
But I knew, in sessions when I do them with people, it's always a lot of times it's very healing.
Yeah.
It's a lot of, closure.
Yeah.
It's guidance. It's fulfilling for people. So I love to do it.
It sounds fulfilling, and it sounds just really intuitive that you're just kind of getting these little pieces of information and kind of putting them together to give this kind of map to this person.
Yes, exactly.
Which is really cool.
Yes, and I love the connection with the person.
Now, what was seeing dead people, what was the first...
Or hearing and feeling them, yeah.
So feeling or sensing them. What was the first deceased person that you kind of felt come through?
The one with the Purple Heart.
The Purple Heart.
Yes. And he also kept showing me a lot about comedy. And she had said that her dad was obsessed with comedy and that he wanted to do it when he was like a little younger, and something he never did. And he kept showing me that. The first time it ever happened was when I was because what I did was I used to practice at the dog park, because I was like, all right, how did I become a comic? I used to do open mics or bringer shows, or, you know? So I was like, I have to practice before I say that this is what I am.
You could just go up to you're like, hey.
Well, no, I would say like, can I work on this? Can I work this on you? Or can I do a reading for you? Or can I do this for free?
No, but it makes sense, because in comedy, open mics, you're at a coffee shop where a lot of people don't want the comedy.
Right, exactly, right. Yeah, exactly.
Like, the dog park, that seems like a good spot.
Yeah.
But also I feel like LA dog park, those are people that want to get readings, you know?
Well, yeah, and also like the place I go to is it's not a proper dog park. It's like a place that we all kind of just go and hang out, and it's like open fields. And so I was very comfortable with the people there. That I consider them friends.
Yeah.
So, I would like, say, let me practice this on you.
Yeah.
So again, it was just the energy stuff. It was just the visions and the psychic stuff. And the first time it happened, I said, it was this older woman, and I said, did you lose a parent? And again, it was the father. I said, when you were a kid, like at a very young age.
Yeah.
And she's like, how the hell did you know that? Because she was older.
Yeah.
And she's like, yes, I did when I was about 8 or 9.
Wow.
And I was like, I think he's here. I was like, I don't know, but I feel like he is. And I feel like that's how I'm getting this information.
Wow.
So, but there are, it's not like, I mean, I aspire to be like the mediums that are like, oh, he's right next to you, or he's right there, or he's, all this like very specific stuff. Like, those are people who've been doing it for 20 years.
Sure.
I'm still learning these gifts, but I help people still.
That's
regardless,
so great.
because I know I'm connecting and I know I'm getting these messages.
Yeah.
And I've had to learn how to turn it off.
Right.
Because I've been doing it now for 3 years. Mm-hmm. And being that, I'm like figuring it all out, it's like I have to turn it off when I'm just living in my regular life, because I started to get anxiety.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to ask is like, is it something where you're just seeing things all the time? Like, are you at Ralph's or whatever at the mall?
I'm definitely feeling things all the time. I don't see, for me, I'll hear things.
Okay.
I'll feel things, and I'll also like know things.
Sure.
I don't know how I know.
Right. So like, are you at the Grove, like feeling things, like just
feeling things, yes. Also, though, I will say when I'm in a reading, when I'm connecting, like I close my eyes for most of the reading. When I close my eyes, I see the images.
Okay.
So it's not like, because there are mediums who will just see it in their regular day.
Yeah.
And for me, I have to be connected, and I close my eyes, and I get certain images. And it's like what I'm doing is interpreting.
Sure.
So I'm learning there are certain images that always come.
Yeah.
So I have to learn, what does that mean? It's like almost like a new language.
Yeah.
It's a spirit language. So you're learning like a new alphabet.
Wow.
Like if they show me a birthday cake, that means they're acknowledging someone's birthday.
Yeah.
But if they show me just candles, usually it's an anniversary that they're trying to acknowledge.
Interesting.
If they're wearing a party hat, like a birthday cone, that means the birthday just happened like last week or next week.
Whoa.
And they're looking to celebrate it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm learning how to like decipher those things.
Now, do you use these gifts? Are you able to use them for your own, like in your own
No,
life?
I try. That's the problem. Because you're in the body, right?
Right.
So as a human being, we have a nervous system.
Right.
We have an endocrine system. We have a brain. So you're in the flesh.
Yeah.
So you're dealing with all those things that are giving you. So you have the gut-brain response.
Yeah.
So my gut is like awful because of all the crap I used to eat. So I'm dealing with my own anxiety, my own stuff. My testosterone's low. That was from antidepressants in the past.
Who hasn't had a little low testosterone?
I know, giving you my whole medical history.
No, I love it.
Yeah. So I'm like dealing with hormonal imbalance.
Yeah.
So I'm dealing with that. So when I'm connecting and doing a reading, I just have to be pure spirit and pure energy.
Yeah.
And I have to put all my stuff aside, and I have to like connect with source. I call it God.
Yeah.
But it is really just energy. It's when I see it as a light.
Yeah.
And like a big ball of energy, because they say Earth is the mother.
Yeah.
God is the father.
Yeah.
So it's like the mother and the Mother Earth.
Yep.
And the physical.
Yeah.
And then, but it's more of like a feminine.
Yeah.
Whereas the father is like the masculine.
Sure.
So I connect to that. And actually, for me, I connect to spirit, and then I use the loved ones to give me information. But just trying to figure out exactly what my main thing is going to be and how I can help the most.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I think, being a comic, because this, I imagine, can get pretty heavy sometimes.
Yes, totally.
So being a comic, I'm sure, comes in handy too to help be able to kind of.
Oh my God, in readings, we totally have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
And I tell people up front too, I say, let's just have fun.
Yeah.
I say, the more open you are, the more connected you are to me, the more, because I like to also unveil your truth.
Sure.
That's part of what I do.
Sure.
Sometimes I could do childhood regression, where like I connect to your energy, and I can go back to like when you were like released from the womb, put on the earth, and so forth, and see like where things could have happened, or issues could have started, or whatever, and give you guidance that way. So for me, it's about like just have fun, connect. I tell people all the time, if you're like skeptic or holding back, go somewhere else, because I'm in it it's already hard enough to like connect and do all this stuff. Don't resist. I'm not, I feel like we're past that. We're 2023. Like if you don't believe in it, move on.
Fine. It's fine.
It's fine. You don't have to. There's so many things in this world for all of us. If you don't believe in something, to me, that's okay. I don't want to convince you.
Yeah, of course.
I only want you to be part of it because it's something you love.
Absolutely.
That's how I feel.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And I am someone who is so open to that kind of stuff. And so, I mean, ever since I saw The Secret back in 2006, I got very into.
It really is so the energy stuff.
The energy stuff. Are you familiar with Abraham Hicks?
Oh my God, that's who I started. That's how I started comedy. I believe because I used to listen to Abraham Hicks and I followed all the stuff that she would like preach about and talk about. I believe that's why I was getting somewhere in comedy and became a comic quickly,
of course,
and got some success in comedy. Like just getting my name in there and actually being in the circle of comedy because of all the manifesting and the energy and the positive thinking. And I'm trying to get back on that because I've been doing a holistic thing for the past 2.5 years, 3 years. Came off all pharmaceuticals, no more. I want to do all natural. I want to get myself, I'm in my 40s now. I really have
to. Great.
Thank you. I think it's spirit. I always say, I'm like, that's,
look amazing.
I just want to like be natural, but it's hard to go from like your 20s and 30s when you're binge eating and sugar
trashing your
and
body.
Smoking weed and trashing and taking all these pills and, to feel better. And it's a lot.
It is. And I think people forget sometimes. I have some friends who deal with things. And of course, if something helps you, take it,
Yes, of course. Oh yeah, totally.
But I do think a lot, some people sometimes rush to that before doing some other stuff like diet,
100%.
Sleep, meditation, that kind of stuff.
And I was just, I was just a young gay kid in my 20s who needed some guidance, some LGBT guidance. That's where it started with the whole self-hate and the boyfriend I had who was drinking a lot. And, it was like I just needed some LGBT guidance possibly. I didn't right away. I didn't need the Zoloft and the this and the that and the Zyprexa. And then it just takes on a lot, and the Klonopin. And, and then you're a comic, so we already have these minds that are very active, and very like in tune to things. And then on top of it, I'm a spirit person who like feels energies and Pisces moon and sees things. It's like
absolutely. I just think for me, and I still smoke, weed and stuff. But
of course, weed's great if it didn't give me anxiety.
No, and it does. And the second it does, I would stop. But I'll still at night I'll relax a little bit, especially after a show. It's so hard to like bring yourself back down after the like energy of performing a show and everything. The buzz, But I mean, I was put on Dexedrine at like 17 and I've been open about this, but I went to the psych ward and I feel like I'm looking back now, I'm like, did I really need to be on speed at 17?
Exactly, right. That's what I'm saying. They're just dishing it out.
Yes.
When there'll be people who will come to me and will be in session, and I always say, I'm not a doctor, so go to your doctors and deal with that. But just be cautious. Or try other things first.
I just think if I will always try the non-medication route first, and then if that doesn't work, I'm like, I guess I'll try the pill.
Yes, exactly. Because I believe in like Chinese medicine. I believe in like all that stuff.
Oh, all that stuff. And I just want to make clear, I have not been on that stuff since. I haven't been on anything like that since, for my mood or anything, since I was 20.
That's amazing. Well, you saved yourself.
I mean, I did have to go again to the psych ward, but Listen, little trip in and out.
Yeah, exactly.
Never killed anyone. Just a little pop in and out. You know what's funny? They put me in the geriatric ward because they thought that that's how not badass I was. Because they were like, put her with the elderly. I was 20.
Yes.
They were like, she'll get hurt with the kids her own age.
Yes.
I know. I missed having like a tormented like boyfriend, like psych ward boyfriend or something.
Oh my God! Yeah. Well, it's funny because I always say too, if meds can be good if you're doing them responsibly,
of course,
or if you're not, or if overdoing them.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Okay, so back to your journey though. I'm wondering, like, when did you start noticing that you had these gifts? Were you meditating? Did you start doing something that allowed this to kind of come through more fully?
I think I accepted it. And by accepting it, I'm realizing that this can help people.
Yes.
That's how I was able to get more open.
Yeah.
Meditating definitely helps whenever I'm least anxious or I'm not dealing with any anxiety, and I'm able to put it, I'm way clearer.
Yeah.
When I'm connected to the person.
Yeah.
I also find too that when I do a session and the person beforehand, like, will think of people that they might want to talk to or things they want to talk about.
Yeah.
That helps a lot too. And I'll be like so on because they're thinking about that stuff.
Interesting.
So I think a lot of times, there was a couple of times where like someone was like thinking something and I said it out loud, I answered it, and they said, how did you know that I didn't say it? And that freaked me out because I realized that's been happening in my life. Where I'd be in a group of friends and I just assumed the person was saying the thing and I just would like, in my head responded, I wouldn't respond out loud. I would be like, wow, that's weird, or they're being weird, or that's messed up. And now I look back at times and I'm like, oh my God, is that what I was doing? I would hate to say reading their mind because that's intrusive, but I feel like I was feeling their energy.
Yeah,
or feeling
you're
their
sensing
thoughts.
It. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yes. So when the person does the work before a reading, a lot of times it's easier for me to connect.
Got it. So, I mean, it's also fascinating.
Yes.
Now, I have a question, selfishly, because we talk about pop culture on this. Do you ever get a sense or anything of any sort of like big pop culture news stories or any kind of news stories in general, anything that's like bigger and in that cycle, can you kind of sense energy there, or do you need to be with the person?
I'm really good at like looking at a picture.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, and like seeing things about them in the picture.
Yeah.
Or like, like people will give me a picture of a loved one, and I'll be able to like tell them things that are going on with that person.
Sure.
And a lot of times they're like, oh my God, that's so spot on.
Sure.
So the pictures I'm really good at. So it could be fun where if I saw like a picture of the person that we're talking about, I could probably maybe predict some stuff.
Sure.
But I've never really thought of doing that because I can't, for me, get validation from that person.
Right.
Because I like to be confirmed.
Right, of course.
Like if I'm talking to the person and I tell them, oh, your brother is depressed right now, or maybe a little sad, or and they can say, yes, he is. Or, this way I know that it's right.
Because it is about the conversation and the connection
100%.
More than anything.
Yes, exactly.
Now, that being said, Britney Spears, because I have so many questions. And it's interesting, I've always felt kind of a closeness to Britney. She got 5150 not too long after I did.
Okay.
Her dad lived in my apartment building when I first moved here, Jamie. Pre-conservatorship, her first husband, Jason Alexander, I was friends with. He lived in my apartment building. It was crazy. So I've always been a fan. So I'm wondering, do you know much about the book?
I haven't read it, so I can't really comment on it. I think it's great that she's able to get out her truth and get out her story. Yes. I think that's great too. I feel like I think it's healing for her.
I do too. I finished it the other day and I was, I highly recommend it, especially you being, an intuitive person and everything. I almost felt like things that I thought might be happening that whole time were confirmed, by her saying it. So it was really interesting. But there was one part that I just killed me. So, I don't know if you've seen all the bombshells that have dropped, but Justin encouraged her to get an abortion.
Right.
And you know, when I was like, okay, even though I know most of the big salacious stories from it, I'm still going to read and support and whatever. I listened to it. I highly recommend it. Michelle Williams fucking killed it.
I love Michelle Williams. I just think she's a brilliant actress.
She is so good. I like forgot I wasn't listening to Britney. I don't know what she does. She gets this kind of vocal fry going with her voice. She is so good.
I love her. I just loved her since Dawson's Creek.
Yes, exactly. Jen. I mean, forever.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Jen was like, we all had a Jen.
We all had a Jen.
Exactly. And that Jen was always my best friend.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And it was, it's just, and she's so good. So you should get the audiobook. I highly recommend it. It's so wonderful. And it's very powerful. And I was tearing up at the nail salon during the end, just like, but she even talks about she's a little intuitive and psychic and can feel energy. So I really do think you should listen.
Well, she's a Sagittarius, and I think Sagittarians often do have that.
Yes.
I wonder what her moon sign is, though, because I feel like it could be a water sign. Like,
I just like a couple weeks ago, or we've definitely done her full chart on this podcast. I'll look it up and let you know.
If she's intuitive, that water might be in there.
Yes, and she talks about being energetically being able to feel other people in other places. And that's why she said it was so powerful. And I got chills when she was talking about her fans sensing that she needed help, basically, because she was locked away in like a rehab.
I mean, it's insane. That's so scary. And also, like, this business in general, like, it's like, you know, when you have, that's the thing with, that's also what scared me about the business, and that I pulled away from. And like the fame and all that stuff and reaching that point, I've never did, but like reaching that, for people who do reach that point, I'm so sensitive and such a, like, I feel everything and I think about a lot of things. Like, I started to say, I don't know if I want that. I don't know if I can, I used to say to people, I think the universe is protecting me. Because I used to get all the things. You saw me, I used to kill on stage. I used to get the things that you're supposed to do, the late night, the JFL, the Comedy Central stuff, like all the things. And like things just wouldn't go to the next level. So I said, I think the universe is protecting me. And I knew I had these other abilities. And that was the thing too. I said, maybe I'm supposed to be doing this. Maybe, and then I remembered, who was I before comedy? And I remembered I was the kid with the astrology whiteboard, you know, the dry board, you know, doing the birth charts. And I used to preach about my message all the time with my little Tommy Hilfiger backpack.
Oh my God. So
you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's who I was in my 20s, you know, like I was that guy. And I used to go on Thomas Time and I used to walk for hours by myself.
I love walking.
Yes. And let me tell you, when you're in solo and when you're in solitude like that, walking, you're just you and God. Or you and spirit.
That's why I love it.
And you're getting all the information you need. Yes, exactly.
I'll take a little microdose and go for a walk from my place to Runyon Canyon, which is about a mile. And then I do, and it's so powerful. Like, it's really great. This is a deep one, you guys. I love this.
Absolutely. You're with a Pisces moon, my love.
I know, of course.
And let's, you know, I through conversation, I like to open up people's souls, and I would love to take a look and see what's going on. Yeah, exactly.
And I love, my boyfriend is a double Pisces sun, Pisces moon, so I love Pisces.
All right, perfect. All right, so you know what? Why don't we do this? Let's do our breathing together, because I would definitely like to, like, I feel that now is a good time to do that.
Great, perfect.
What's up, you guys? Checking in again, just to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, Factor. This holiday season, you might be looking for nutritious, convenient meals to keep you energized on jam-packed days. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal delivery service, can help you fuel up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and stay on track with your healthy lifestyle while tackling all your holiday to-dos. This November, get Factor and enjoy eating well without the hassle. Simply choose your meals and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered to your door. Ready in just 2 minutes. No prep, no mess. You guys, I'm still waiting. I just ordered my Factor pack last week. I'm so excited it's coming this week. I cannot wait. I mean, 2 minutes or less. You guys know I barely go in the kitchen, let alone cook, but I think this could be my first step into becoming the next Martha Stewart. And even if not, at least I will have eaten a delicious and nutritious meal at a great price, you guys. And right now, you can head to factormeals.com/glitter50 and use code glitter50 to get 50% off. That is code glitter50 at factormeals.com/glitter50 to get 50% off. You guys, again, this is a great deal. Save some money here so you can spend more on Black Friday deals, and let's get our Factor on together this holiday season. Now back to the episode with Thomas Dale.
And then I just want to see what comes up for you.
Okay.
Okay. So what I usually do is I say we go in through the nose,
Okay.
out through the mouth twice.
Okay.
Okay. And in that time, I'm going to be thinking about you and your energy.
Okay.
And then let's just see. We'll go back to conversation.
Okay.
And we'll see what comes up.
Should I
okay?
close my eyes?
You do whatever you're comfortable
Okay,
with.
great.
Okay. All right. So right now, I'm just thinking about you and your whole spirit. Okay. In through the nose, out through the mouth twice. I'll let you know so we do it together.
Okay.
Okay. Now. One more time. Ooh. It's very interesting because the first thing that I start feeling about is something with your mom. Okay? And I start feeling this thing about like, it's like a back and forth even.
Yeah.
Is your mom's alive or passed?
She's alive,
Yeah.
but I just had like a disagreement with her and
Yes,
called her.
it's back and forth. You guys are like a power struggle even.
Yes.
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 And that just happened literally?
Literally, I called her on the way here and was like, and we're fine.
Yeah.
But we do
It's a
always constant
back and forth.
And on my way here, I was like, why is it always like this? I love her so much. She's the best. I'm so grateful she's alive, you know?
Yeah.
And but sometimes we do still butt heads a
Yeah.
little. I mean, yeah.
And that's literally all I saw was your mom and you and this back and forth and this back and forth. And then what Spirit was making me feel was that they said your mom loves you so much.
Yeah.
And she truly loves you.
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes you might even question,
Yeah.
does she love me,
Yeah.
the who I am,
Yeah.
or the person I portray myself to be
Yes.
to her?
Yes.
And they want you to know that she loves you, Justine, the spirit of you.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh,
so that
I'm
was
gonna
the first thing.
I'm gonna like tear up.
That was the first thing that we felt right away was that mom thing. Okay. It also feels like there's a boy that I'm seeing too, and it has to do with your mom as well. And it feels like there's something that happened with her when she was growing up or in her family. Does your mom have any brothers?
Yeah.
There's something that happened with one of her brothers that like affected her.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was when they were growing up
Yeah.
or their relationship.
Yeah.
But it's like affecting your mom, and it affected how she was. It's almost like a trust issue thing that your mom has. So
Yeah.
there's something going on there with one of her brothers.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Just know that your mom is very affected by that.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
And then the boyfriend stuff.
Yeah.
I see the wedding veils. Like
Oh my God, really?
I see that. Now, I don't know if you want to be married, but they're showing me the symbols of this can be the one.
Yeah, I mean, we've been together 10 years, so everyone's like,
Okay,
why
well,
the fuck haven't you gotten married?
Because I'm not sure if you want to. That's the thing.
I'm not sure if I want to either.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my God.
But they're showing, so the thing is with like psychic visions, there's free will and fate.
Right.
So they're just showing the potential.
Right.
But then they show me, Spirit, that it's a matter of you just maybe you don't want to.
Sure.
So you're on that fence about it.
Sure.
But you guys have that potential and you are meant to be together.
Oh, I love that. And I feel that way too. I just don't know, like, do we really need, what would change? It's not like
because I keep seeing rolling the dice.
Yes.
I keep seeing rolling the dice. Like you almost feel like it's a gamble.
Yeah.
And you don't want to gamble with your relationship.
Yes.
So that's what I keep seeing, rolling the dice.
Oh, interesting. And also, like, I just feel like once you do that, you know all those couples that are together for a really long time and then they get married and they're divorced like that?
Yes, exactly,
I think now I'm in my head, because we have been together for so long, that if we did, I don't want to be one of those couples.
Yeah, you don't want to gamble with it.
Yes.
I keep seeing the gambling.
Yeah, but he is great, and I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah.
That makes me feel so happy.
They also need you to know that he is a hard worker.
Oh, that is for sure.
Yes, they're like he's a hard worker. He'll always be a hard worker.
Yeah.
And that's something you need to know.
Okay.
But there's also like something about the hardworking thing that I don't know if you're trying to match it or if you're trying to be on the same level of the hard work, or if he makes you sometimes feel like you should be working harder.
Well, he's an animator, so he's like chained to his desk like 10 hours a day, and I'm just like going to do an hour-long podcast. Bye.
Right,
so literally last night he made a joke. He does give me shit about how like easy my job is.
Exactly. Yes.
So that's funny that you picked up on that, because we literally last night he made a joke about that.
And I feel like deep down inside, subconsciously, or like in your like you feel a little like am I?
Yes.
Yes.
It's funny because last night the joke kind of bothered me.
Yes, I know.
Oh my God, this is insane.
Yes. I know.
This is so good.
I literally felt that. Yes. Yeah, because I was like, oh, I felt like a sensitive feeling. And because you're such a strong person and you are a hard worker, that's what Spirits needs you to know. You are a hard worker and you are doing enough.
Thank you.
Just so you know.
Thank you.
Yes, you are doing enough.
You.
It made you feel a little insecure.
Yes, it did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
But Spirit wants to confirm that you are doing enough.
Oh my God.
Okay, so just keep on the track.
Yeah.
Also, they keep saying, if you just continue on the track of authenticity.
Yeah.
Because you keep saying, what's going to be my thing?
Yeah.
When am I going to get my thing?
Yes.
When am I going to get my, like, just do?
Yeah.
Authenticity. Keep just the realer you can be and the more you can be, the more success you're going to get.
I love it.
Okay?
Yeah. Yep.
And I keep seeing some blonde woman for some reason.
Well, my mom's blonde.
Okay, because this blonde woman, I just keep popping up to me.
My mom's
She
blonde.
affects you a lot.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, I have because I'm an only child, and she just.
You want to make her proud. And
I want to make her proud, and
Was she successful?
She was successful.
Yeah.
She was a hairdresser. Yeah, she was a hairdresser, and she was successful. But she's sacrificed a lot for me, and so that my dad could, she moved a lot because my dad, we moved for his job a couple times, and so
you feel that there was almost like she took on a lot.
Yes, she took on a lot. She did definitely take on a lot, and
ooh, that's what I'm picking up too. Is because of her sacrifice, you almost feel like you don't want to sacrifice that much with the marriage, and family, and all that. Because you saw your mom sacrifice it.
Yes.
And so now you're kind of like, that's what's holding you back a little bit with the moving forward with like marriage and all that stuff, because you saw your mom do that.
Yes.
And you feel like she could have even, if we're being honest, she could have been even more successful.
Yes, 1,000%. That is 1,000%. Because I'm like, okay, she went that, but I'm going to do the opposite. I don't care about kids or marriage,
Yes, Exactly. But just always remember, be true to yourself, and your mom's journey was your mom's journey for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And never let yourself make decisions or paths because of an influence of something you don't want to be or something you don't.
Right.
You want to just always stick to. You can maybe have both.
Yeah.
You can maybe you are meant to be a mother.
Yeah.
I could even see you being, like with a child.
Yeah.
If that was something you wanted.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I love my dog so much. People with actual kids, please don't get mad at me for saying that, but she's the closest thing I have to it now.
Oh my God, I literally have my boy with me because he's my baby. I'm like, the building's making you afraid.
Yeah,
I don't want to leave you alone today. Yeah, I have to bring you with me to the studio. Like,
no, it's great. But wow, that's crazy.
So I'm definitely feeling that with the mom. It's funny because your dad doesn't pop up to me a lot.
Yeah.
It's almost like his energy is a little more reserved.
Yeah.
And like a little background-ish.
Yeah.
I get an earth energy from him.
Yeah. He's an Aquarius.
Okay. Do you know what his moon is by any chance?
I don't know what his moon is.
Yeah.
But I think, and then my mom's a Libra.
Okay.
But I don't know what their full charts are. But he definitely worked a lot.
It's interesting because that's so funny because I feel so much grounding from him.
Yeah.
But Aquariuses aren't that grounded.
No.
That's why I think there's a lot of earth in his birth chart.
Yeah, probably.
Somewhere.
I bet there is.
Yeah, because I feel very like a grounded sense.
Yeah.
Like it's like hard to break through to him.
That's true.
That's what that's breaking
very
through.
True.
That's why I keep feeling that earthiness.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to break through.
Yeah. And he's definitely very grounded.
And he's quieter than normal Aquarius is in my feeling.
Yeah.
There's something he's not saying.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's almost like you constantly are like, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
Or what's going on in there? Or say it.
Yeah.
But he doesn't speak up a lot.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Do you sometimes feel, and maybe this is too personal, so you don't have to answer it, that you want more from him? Or like that,
I think probably, yeah. I mean, look, we've had a complicated relationship for sure, and we've had our ups and downs. He worked a lot when I was younger, so I definitely probably have had, I think I've let them go now, but certain resentments against him for that.
Like showing up.
Yeah, that kind of thing. And
just know that his detachment style is his way of protecting himself.
Yeah.
I don't know, again, don't feel anything about his childhood.
Yeah.
But I feel that him being detached or like the not getting settled, even though I feel the earthiness and that toughness, that rock.
Yeah.
I just feel like the detachment is his way of protecting himself.
That makes sense.
It's like it's interesting because I have this grounded feeling, but a feeling of not getting too attached.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we moved a bunch when I was younger, so even just
That
not
could be
getting attached
possibly-
to,
right.
you know what I mean?
It could be his way of just having to
Yes, yes.
But it's that I would love to know. Text me when you find out what his moon
I
and
will,
rising is.
I will.
Because I just keep getting this rock
Earth.
feeling.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
interesting.
Let me see what else comes up for you. Do you ever get like sensitive? Your skin is beautiful, but do you ever get sensitive skin in certain? There's something about your skin feeling sensitive to me.
Yeah, I actually have like a little rash,
Right.
like right here, right now. Yeah.
It feels like a little. Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
because what I see looks perfect.
Yeah.
But I'm
yeah.
seeing like a sensitivity somewhere.
Yeah, I just had a physical on Monday and was asking my doctor about. I just have this little. She said just put coconut oil on it, but
Coconut oil kills everything.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
But I feel I guess it would be the rash because
Yeah.
I'm feeling something with sensitive skin.
Yeah.
I wonder, I'm trying to see if I could figure out why that's happening to you. First of all, stress sometimes
Yeah.
is triggering that.
Yeah.
But I think also, was there a new product that you were using or a new detergent?
You know, I think I switched soaps.
Right.
You like I
It could be the soap
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
Which is weird because it would happen everywhere. But for some reason, maybe it's the stress. It's just inflammation.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know.
I feel sensitive nerves in your skin. Like literally your skin is actually sensitive
Oh,
too,
yeah.
as well.
Like, well, it's interesting. My hands and feet are always cold,
Yeah.
and I have Raynaud's, which like
What's that?
it's where I don't have great circulation because
Okay.
of the dexedrine.
Right.
Stimulants can cause it.
Yes, 100%.
And so my hands can sometimes turn like purple
Right.
and
Okay.
red.
Yeah,
and
that's a
stuff.
nerve thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
there's a nerve thing happening.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Not good, but okay. Okay. Good.
Okay, great.
But so those are the sensitive areas because, like I said, I don't do medical, but
Yeah.
that's the sensitivity.
Good to know.
Yeah,
Good to
yeah.
know.
Okay. I also do feel, to be honest with you, and this is just coming from like knowing you for not knowing. We don't know. We've never hung out.
Yeah.
But we know each other in the scene.
Yes.
I feel like if I'm connecting to you now, I feel like you're in a better place than you've been.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure.
Yes.
Yes, for sure.
Just your energy in general is
Yeah.
telling me you're in a better place than you've been. And that spirit is saying, keep up on this path.
Oh, that makes me feel really happy.
Okay?
Yeah.
Keep up on this path. Because they're also saying you're no longer looking for validation.
That is so spot on. There are certain things that I've just let go of
Yes.
that I was like, but I need this. And then finally something just clicked where I was just like, no, just release it. Like the
Yes.
Abraham Hicks, just let go of the
Yes.
oars. Like you don't need, if it's meant to be mine, it'll come to me. But if I can just let it go,
Yes,
you know?
exactly. So the not needing the validation is so clear.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yes. Keep on that path.
Thank you, because
Yes.
that is something that I have been working on because I do tend to be a little bit of a people pleaser.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
So, and that's that's needing validation.
Yeah, and that's probably what you sensed before. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm a nice girl. Oh, I'm nice. I
Yeah.
just want everyone to
No,
like
just
me.
keep doing
Yeah,
this path that you're on, the new frame of mind. That's the way to go.
great. I love that.
Okay. All right. Let's see what else. This is random.
Okay.
Okay. But for some reason, and it sounds vague, but I'm seeing something with a bicycle.
Okay.
And they're making me feel like something about bike riding more.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Wow.
Doing something with bike riding.
I love that.
Yeah, so either like a cycle class
Okay.
or actually bike riding, something with bike riding.
That's so funny because just the other day, a friend of mine posted something from Soul Cycle, and I was like, I used to do cycling. I should get back
Yes.
into that. Literally,
And was
like
it within
the other
the
day.
week? Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, so I'm seeing that the cycling. So
Yeah.
they're saying the cycle class that you've been thinking of.
Yeah. Go for it.
Go for it.
Okay, great.
Okay, it's going
Love
to be
that.
great for you.
I love it.
Okay?
Yeah.
They also say circle of friends, too. You've been working on that and like it's filtering a little bit,
Yes,
too.
I have been filtering.
Okay, they're saying it's good because the more you I never tell anyone what to do with their friends or relationship,
Yeah.
but the more you filter, you're going to let more opportunity for new friends, and you're going to get new friends.
Yes.
New group.
That is like again, another thing that I've been working on is just really making sure my circle is truly in my corner and wants what's best for me and is
Yes,
rooting for me.
yes.
Because in this business, it's hard.
It's hard,
We're
yeah.
all, you could get jealous and jaded and why did they get that and I didn't
Of
and all this
course.
stuff. And it's tough to find real friends because you are kind of, I mean, there's enough for everyone. There's no real
Of course,
competition,
yeah,
but you
yeah.
are all kind of
looking to get the thing that everyone wants.
Exactly.
But they're saying that in the past, the girls that you were friends with, you learned from each other.
Yeah.
And that was what you were meant to have.
Great.
And it's time to now move on
Great.
to have the next level of you.
Great. I love
Okay?
it. Yeah.
So yeah, I just feel that for now.
I
that's good
love
for me.
it.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
so good.
That was fun, right?
That was incredible.
And usually, like in like a longer session, like a proper session, sometimes we get very deep.
Yeah.
Sometimes also like there isn't a lot of depth to get to.
Yeah.
It's just very, like. But I've had people that have come to me like every few months that like
Yeah.
I love watching them grow.
Yeah.
Or they'll say like this thing that you told me happened,
Yeah.
and I didn't understand it
Yeah.
at the time, and then it wound up happening, and so that to me is so cool and so like validating too.
Yeah.
Or even like when we do like a medium thing.
Yeah.
Which is very heavy and it takes a lot more of my energy. But when we do that, and I can see peace and healing in the person, that's also very
Yeah.
beautiful too.
Yeah.
But this stuff like this really excites me
I mean-
because I love to connect to someone's soul. And again too, like when it's just one-on-one without
Yeah.
all the cameras and the lights,
Yeah.
there are things that I'll see, like in like a live thing like this that I don't want to bring up or
Yeah.
say because like you might not want to talk about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm very respectful to people's boundaries. Not to say that I saw anything that you're
No, and that's
But-
fine. Even if you did,
Yeah.
I appreciate.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, but yeah, no, go as deep as you want. You know,
Okay, good. Okay, good. I love that.
That's what
Let's-
I always say to the boys.
Yeah. Well, luckily I'm gay, so you don't have to worry about that.
But yeah, I mean, just the fact that out the gate, the first
Yes.
thing you said was about my mom.
And if we're gonna go a little deeper,
Yeah.
just so you know, there is a little anger there with Dad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
was like, I was feeling that, but I was like, that's not my business
Yeah.
right now. And
No.
but there is.
Yeah, there is.
And there is. So if you want to in your life resolve that,
Yeah.
I would say the best thing for that is know that your dad is just the person he's trying to be.
Yeah.
And he has his own defense mechanisms
Yeah.
and the things that keep him alive
Yeah.
and keep him surviving in his world.
Sure. No, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I don't even think he realizes sometimes.
I agree with that. I
so
do agree.
maybe if the anger comes from thinking that he does realize or he does know,
Yeah.
he doesn't.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
helpful. That's
Okay.
really helpful. But
Yeah.
no joke, Thomas, on my way here, I called my mom because I was like, I never like to be in a weird energetic place with anyone. Like I really like to
Of course.
have it be a good vibe,
Yeah.
and my mom and I kind of had a little bit of a disagreement. And so I called her and I was like, and it was all good, but I did get very emotional on the
Yes.
call to the point where I started to cry.
Yeah, that was the first thing I felt for you.
Really?
Yeah. Well, no, not the crying. The mom
yeah,
thing.
Yeah, And I was like, I have to. I can't get too emotional because I'm about to go do a podcast and I have to be funny. So it's just so.
I know. To be
I know,
funny.
right? So, which this has been hilarious.
Yeah.
No, but that was so. I love doing these episodes where we are a little bit more deep.
Yes.
Than like,
Of course.
dick jokes left
Of course,
and right.
all the time. Sometimes you need to just. I think
Yeah.
it's the balance of life,
I
of
agree.
nature.
I agree.
We can't. That was the thing with comedy too. Is I always felt like my humor and my being funny all the time was my defense mechanism.
Yeah.
And it was my thing that was keeping me safe.
Yes.
And for all of us as comics, our humor, when I was a kid, the reason I started being funny was because I was getting bullied a lot.
Right.
Literally, like, they would call me fag or
Same.
write fag on
Oh,
my
not-
lot. They called you
they
fag?
call-
I know, right? You are pretty faggy, I will say.
They called me fat, is what they called me. So just one letter off, but that.
Yeah, just one letter off. Which is actually worse because you can at least get rid of the fat.
Yeah.
Can't get rid of the fag, like,
Oh my God, I'm crying again, but in a different way.
Yeah. But like
Oh my
they would
God.
really like
Yes.
literally like write on my locker or write Thomas Dale is gay on the desk, and I remember I would sit there and I would like try to scribble it out, and so I have like this trauma,
Yeah.
right? So one time I remember this older kid like punched me in my stomach, and I was like, oh, and I remember saying if I can make them, and then I made them laugh a couple of times,
Yeah.
and they stopped the bullying. So I remember saying if I can make them laugh, they won't bully me or
Yeah.
they won't be mean,
Yeah.
and that stuck.
Yeah.
So then it was constantly like I have to be funny, so that I'm not being bullied or
Yeah.
being made fun of or
Yeah.
I'm liked.
Yeah.
And it got exhausting. So with this, I get to just see the other person.
Yeah.
And I don't have to be the on person. I mean, yes, I'm using my energy and my abilities, but I get to see the person.
Yeah.
And
I love
that
it.
to me feels like now my balance. And that's why I've been putting a lot more energy. Even though I've gone back to comedy,
Yeah.
I'm putting all my energy into this healing
Yeah.
thing and seeing where it can go.
Yeah. Well, I cannot. Thomas and I, again, we ran into each other at Whole Foods, had not seen
Yeah.
each other in years. Like there was no prep for this at all, other than
No, not at
DMing
all.
you, being
Of
like,
course.
this time and place, like, yes, bring truth. Like,
Yeah,
that was
let me
it.
bring him up here because
Yeah.
he's crying.
Bring truth. He's like, I want to get in on this.
I don't want anyone to think like he's, there was, okay, there's my boy.
Oh my God, he's so adorable.
Are you on the
A
podcast
little
too?
good boy. Now, what
Because
kind
there
is
was
he?
stuff at the building. He was scared, so I didn't want to leave him
Oh
alone.
no, I get it.
He's a pit beagle.
Oh my God, he is.
And he's an
precious.
absolute angel.
Look at that face.
And he's my baby.
I get it. Oh my God, he's
goodness,
so cute.
he is such a sweetheart. And when I do readings, he just lays there next to me on the bed.
Oh,
and I
dogs.
take him everywhere. We go to the park 2 hours a day.
I love it. Dogs are so healing.
Oh my God, he's my angel.
Yeah,
he
Blair is
literally
my
my
angel
boy.
too. And she's a Sagittarius, so it's like fire signs.
Well,
together.
he is a Pisces with Cancer moon.
Oh, look at that. So no
the
wonder he's
angel,
crying.
yes.
He's so sensitive.
Well, because he just wanted to sit up here with
just
us.
wanted to be part of the gang.
My baby.
I love it so
Aw.
much. He's so cute.
Yeah.
So I do ask everyone on the pod what you fangirl or fanboy
Mm-hmm.
over. Is there anything in pop culture, like past or present, and it can be anything. One person once said lighting.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I love seeing Madonna's evolution.
Oh my God!
Right?
So I was on. First of all, I love Madonna, but this week in particular, I was on Josh Adam Meyer's 500
Right,
podcast where he
right.
goes through all the albums on the Rolling Stone list, and I got to do Like a Prayer, the Like a Prayer album.
Oh my God, I love it.
So I've been in a Madonna K-hole
Yes,
the past
yes,
week.
yes.
So, but her evolution.
Love her evolution
Yes.
and love seeing that she's just rocking it and she's doing her thing and such a Leo. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't
Oh.
bring that woman down.
No, you can't.
And she's just such a strength. And for me, when I was a little kid, that's the generation of gay I was.
Yeah.
She was my Britney.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that was my Britney. I mean, look at this love.
Yeah, I mean.
Madonna, yeah, her evolution's great. And I love whoever shares Plastic Surgeon, killing the game. I mean, may we all look like Cher in our 70s.
It's so true. I actually said to my friends the other day, because, a lot of people, and on the podcast it got brought up that Madonna has had some work done on her face, but I was
Right.
like, Cher looks like just as good as Madonna, if not
my God,
better.
Way-
right?
oh my God, she's
Better.
incredible. That's
Way
why,
be-
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, what? And she's, like at least 10 years older than Madonna.
Yeah, she's in her 70s.
Yeah, she's in her 70s.
Yeah.
Madonna's in her 60s. So it's like, it's crazy. Cher looks incredible.
Yeah.
She's dating this like 30-year-old.
I see. Yes, of
What
course.
a bad
Listen,
bitch.
she's a hot mama.
Yeah, she is.
She is a hot mama.
Absolutely is. I love that so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm excited. I'm going to see Madonna in
Oh, that's so
March.
great.
I've never seen her before. She's like my favorite. I used to listen to Madonna Immaculate Collection with my mom.
Well, Madonna Ray of Light is literally my favorite album. That and Lauryn Hill, Miseducation, my two favorite albums.
I was listening to Ray of Light just today on the way
Yeah,
over here.
Literally the best.
So good, so good. Because that Ray of Light is on the 500 best albums of all time. Madonna
Oh,
has 3
really?
albums on the old list. They came out with a new list, but the one that Josh is doing, it's Ray of Light is on, Like a Prayer is on, and Immaculate Collection is on.
my
which
God.
Immaculate Collection is just like
The best.
so good. I remember listening to that with my mom when I was younger. It's one of the first albums I remember loving.
I think I remember. Yeah, I remember like hanging out with. Oh my God, it's so funny. In like one of my girlfriend's house. Like
Yeah.
my girl, not my like my actual girlfriend.
Yeah. Oh.
She used to have, it was such. She used to have to teach me how to like walk like a boy
Yeah.
and all that. And we were like dating. It was like 6th grade, and it was like so like oh my God, like brutal for me.
yeah,
you know, like-
yeah.
But I was the safest boyfriend to have because I was never trying to like get in their pants.
Yeah.
You know,
I
like
love
I just
that.
wanted to just be with them and hang
Yeah,
out.
you just wanted to hang.
You know?
Oh, I love that. Well, Thomas, it's been so wonderful having you on.
Thank you for having
You're
me on.
welcome
Yes,
anytime. I'd love to have you
absolutely.
back. Where can everyone find you and how can they book with you? Because you guys, again, it was very brief planning this. We didn't go deep at all into, we didn't talk about
yeah,
anything
no,
personal.
absolutely not.
And for you to just sit down and immediately be like, this is what's happening,
Yes.
and have it be
Thank
so
you.
spot on.
Oh,
I'm
well, thank you. I'm glad
blown
I was able to
away.
see.
Yeah, this was really cool.
Yeah, you could just go to my Instagram, ThomasDale5, and in the bio is the link to my website. The website is Kewen Thomas, KEWENTHOMAS.com. You could look at the reviews, and then you could just book an appointment. Like you could like request the booking.
Great.
You could DM me on Instagram, but I would just click the link on Instagram and go through the booking because this way all I know is your first name and phone number.
Sure.
Even though I don't need the skeptics.
Yeah.
But I feel like for me, the least I know the better because I don't like to get any preconceived notions.
Sure.
So it's better to just click the link, and then put in your first name and your phone. I think it's just your first name and phone number, and then I just email you, text you back.
Amazing. And you do in person and virtual.
In person and virtual, yes. So
Perfect.
in the LA area, we could do in person.
Okay, great. And wherever you are in the world, you can do virtual.
Yeah.
And again, this was like truly very cool and healing. So thank you so much.
Anytime.
I love you so much. And I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for spending this hour with us. And we'll see you next time on Glitter and Garbage. Bye.
Glitter and garbage.